Virgo, 0 to 100 isn't metaphor. It's your actual lived experience about to compress months of normal progression into days of holy shit, is this real? Acceleration. And I need you to understand something about velocity this extreme. Your body doesn't know the difference between terror and excitement. Same elevated heart rate, same shallow breathing, same I might throw up sensation in stomach. So when this hits, when you go from nothing to everything in span of time too short to emotionally prepare for you're going to feel awful and amazing simultaneously. And you're going to think something's wrong because shouldn't good things feel purely good? No, massive positive change feels like chaos, like falling, like losing control, because you are losing control, just not in bad way. You're losing control of carefully managed small life and being forced into large life you haven't developed muscles for yet. And large life has different physics, different rules, different requirements. Picture last minute this way: you've been planning or not planning, but existing in holding pattern. Either way, tomorrow looks basically like today. Next week looks like this week. Future is predictable, even if prediction is more of same disappointing sameness. You've made peace with that, not happy peace, resigned peace. Guess this is how it is, peace. And then, no warning, everything shifts. Not you get call you've been waiting for, not thing you've been working toward finally. Manifests, those have build up, have anticipation, have preparation time. This is ambush, positive ambush, but still. Um, Email at 11 p.m. that changes your employment status by morning. Text that turns maybe someday into actually right now. Encounter that shifts stranger to person who's about to become extremely important in single conversation. Decision that moves impossible into happening whether you feel ready or not. Last minute means you don't get to prepare. Don't get to workshop your response with therapist. Don't get to make pro-con list. Don't get to gradually AD just. You get seconds to decide, hours at most. And decision you make in that compressed time frame determines whether you ride the acceleration or get left behind while opportunity moves to someone who can move fast. What surprise actually means here. Not surprise party. Not, ah, how sweet someone remembered my birthday. Surprise, like plot twist, like rules you thought you understood just got rewritten, like foundation you were standing on revealed as trampoline and now you're airborne without having jumped. Could be person. Someone enters, or someone already present reveals themselves completely differently, and their presence reorganizes your entire life, not gradually, not we'll see where this goes. I am immediately, with force of conviction that says, oh, this is what I've been waiting for, even though 30 seconds ago you weren't consciously waiting for anything. Uh, could be opportunity, position, partnership, investment, opening that if you'd gotten it 6 months ago, you would have thrown party. But you're getting it now when you've stopped looking, when you've made other plans. when accepting means disrupting. Entire careful structure you built around not having it. We want you to start Monday. We're moving forward with your project. They said yes. And you're standing there thinking, but I wasn't ready for yes. I was prepared for no. I built whole life around no. What the fuck do I do with yes? Could be clarity, sudden absolute knowing about what you need to do, where you need to go, what you need to end, what you need to begin, not wondering, not I should probably, knowing, bone deep, undeniable, the kind of knowing that makes hesitation impossible even though action is terrifying. And knowing arrives last minute because if it arrived earlier, you would have talked yourself out of it. Would have found 17 reasons why not yet, or not this way, or not with this person. But arriving last minute means you don't have time to think, just time to choose. Yes or no, in or out, now. 0 to 100 looks like 0. You're single, haven't been on date in months, made peace with being alone. Maybe even prefer it at this point because dating is exhausting and people are disappointing. 100 person you meet Tuesday is person you're completely reorganized around by Friday. Not because you're desperate, because recognition is immediate and mutual and undeniable. And suddenly you're texting all day, making plans, canceling other plans, thinking about them constantly, feeling things you weren't feeling Monday, wanting things you weren't wanting Monday. Velocity is disorienting. Wait, am I being crazy? Is this too fast? Maybe. But also, maybe fast is just what happens when two people who are ready meet at right time. 0, you're stuck in job you hate, underpaid, undervalued, sending applications into void and hearing nothing. Starting to think maybe this is just your level and wanting more is delusion. 100 Friday, you get offer. Not just any offer, dream offer. Money that makes you check if there's typo. Role that uses everything you're actually good at. Team that wants you specifically. And you have weekend to decide. They need answer Monday. 2 days to decide something that affects next years of your life. 2 days to overcome imposter syndrome that says you're not qualified. 2 days to figure out logistics of how you'd even make this work. 0 to 100 days. Not months of negotiation, not weeks of deliberation. 0, you're broke. Like actually broke. Not exaggerating for effect, broke. Can't pay rent without juggling, broke. 100, money arrives, significant money through channel you weren't expecting. Client pays early, investment hits. Side thing you forgot about generates revenue, refund, settlement, whatever. And it's not, oh, nice, extra $50. It's, holy shit, this changes immediate reality, money. Velocity creates whiplash. Yesterday, you were panicking about bills. Today, you're solvent. Brain can't process that fast. Keeps waiting for error, for money to disappear, for this to be dream. 0, you're stuck in city you hate, in relationship that's dying, in pattern you can't seem to break. And you've been trying to figure out exit, but everything feels too complicated, too expensive, too risky. 100, suddenly door opens, opportunity to move. Clear reason to end what needs ending. Catalyst that makes staying impossible and leaving mandatory. And you have days to execute what you thought would take months to plan. Pack, leave, start over. Now. Why last minute matters? Why surprise arrives with no warning? Because if you saw it coming, you'd sabotage, you'd find reasons. You'd let fear build fortress around possibility before possibility could reach you. Your brain likes predictability, likes knowing what tomorrow holds, gets nervous when tomorrow suddenly contains variables you can't control. So if you knew this was coming, you'd prepare by protecting, building walls, creating distance, explaining to yourself why it won't work before it even arrives. Last minute bypasses your defenses, doesn't give you time to explain away, doesn't give fear time to build case against opportunity. You just have to respond. Guts, instinct, trust. And some of you excel under pressure. Make better decisions when you don't have time to overthink. Move faster when there's no option to deliberate. Last minute is your optimal environment. You just haven't admitted that yet because culture says we should all be planners. Fuck planning. Sometimes moving is better than planning. What you need to know about going 0 to 100, it will feel wrong before it feels right. Your nervous system will scream, too fast, too much. This can't be real. That's normal. That's not intuition telling you to stop. That's just your system detecting change and interpreting change as threat, because that's what nervous systems do. You have to override, have to say, I hear you, body, but we're doing this anyway. You will want to slow down. Pump brakes. Let me think about this. Can we revisit this next week? And sometimes slowing down is wise. Sometimes you're being rushed, and rushed equals manipulated. But other times, most times, when acceleration is legitimate, slowing down just means missing it, because opportunity that appears last minute often disappears just as fast. Window is narrow. You're in or you're out. Decide. You will second guess after committing. Did I just make huge mistake? What if this is wrong? What if I should have taken more time? That's normal too. That's brain trying to regain control by creating doubt about decision that's already made. Let doubt exist without letting it reverse your choice. Yes, I'm scared. Yes, I'm unsure. Yes, I'm doing it anyway. People around you might not understand. That's so sudden. Are you sure? Don't you think you should wait? They mean well. They're worried. They're projecting their fear of rapid change onto your situation. Thank them for caring. Then do what you're doing anyway. Their comfort with your pace is not your problem. What to do when last minute surprise arrives? Breathe, literally. 5 deep breaths before you respond to email, text, offer, whatever. Just breathe. Let oxygen hit brain. Let panic crest and start to recede. Then ask, what do I actually want here? Not what's safe, not what makes sense. What do you want? If answer is yes, if you want this thing that's arriving too fast, then fuck the pace. Say yes. If answer is no, if you don't actually want it, despite it looking good on paper. Say no, even if saying no seems crazy. But if answer is yes and you're just scared of speed, don't let speed be reason you decline. Check if it's real. Not every last minute thing is legitimate. Some are scams, some are manipulation, some are person's chaos trying to recruit you into chaos. So verify. Do basic due diligence. Google the company. Ask questions. Trust but verify. But do it fast. You don't have weeks. Tell someone, not everyone, but someone who can help you think clearly, who knows you, who can say, yes, this sounds legit, or wait, this feels off. Outside perspective when you're inside the whirlwind is valuable. Jump if it's real. If it checks out, if it's what you want, jump. Don't wait for certainty. Certainty doesn't exist. You'll never be 100% sure. Jump at 60% sure. Jump at 70% sure. Jump when gut says yes, even though brain is listing risks. The power is yours. It always has been. Last minute surprise is coming. You will go from 0 to 100 fast. And when it happens, when acceleration hits, your job is breathing through panic, trusting your gut, verifying it's real, then moving before window closes. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Trust yourself. And listen, life changing doesn't always arrive on your schedule, doesn't always give you time to prepare, doesn't always feel comfortable. Sometimes it arrives last minute and you have to say yes scared or say no and wonder forever what you missed. Choose yes when it's real. Take care, dear Virgo. Bye.